Hello and welcome to Newsreel. I'm Rachel Pather. Here are today's top stories. Deadly bird flu in China alarms scientists. Medical and environmental experts in the UAE discuss the health risks of sandstorms. Scientists find new scientific evidence that eating fish is heart healthy. Walking reduces heart risks as much as running. Cyborg's manager calls for a super fight against Ronda Rousey. And Amanda Bynes tweets that she has an eating disorder. All this and more in today's edition of Newsreel. A deadly new strain of bird flu claimed its sixth life in eastern China last Friday. The man, a 64-year-old farmer from Huzhou, was later confirmed to have been infected with the H7N9 virus. Agricultural authorities in Shanghai began slaughtering birds in a local market in an effort to stem the spread of the disease. Shanghai also issued a temporary ban on all wholesale live poultry trading and ordered markets closed. The number of infected people remains small, but the appearance of the new virus has shaken China. The government has vowed to be transparent and promised to release information about H7N9 as quickly as possible. As more cases have emerged, the geographic distance among infections has become greater, making it increasingly clear that the virus is spreading, undetected, over hundreds of kilometres in China. Scientists from the World Health Organization are also now on high alert. One reason for the alarm is that viruses bearing a combination of H7 hemagglutinin and N9 neuraminidase have never previously been known to infect humans. Adding to the alarm, the first 3 people who got infected were not linked, meaning each caught the virus from an animal or a different person. WHO's top flu expert, Dr. Keiji Fukuda, said that it is not impossible that the virus was caught from animals, but that it is not the most likely scenario. Fukuda explains that it's possible animals are infected, but they still haven't detected what animal it might be and whether they are the source of the illness. As part of an awareness campaign launched by pharmaceutical company MSD, medical and environmental experts in the UAE gathered in a roundtable event to discuss the serious health risks posed by sandstorms. Sultan Farah, the weather forecasting specialist from the National Centre of Meteorology and Seismology in Abu Dhabi, took the floor to explain why sandstorms occur. According to Farah, sandstorms are a weather phenomenon, and the most dominant source of sandstorms in the UAE is dust travelling from neighbouring Iraq. Dr. Hussein Abdul Rahman, who also spoke at the event, said that sandstorms are a major cause of infections and allergies, including allergic rhinitis.
If a person has allergic rhinitis, it will affect him in case of nasal blockage. That person will find difficulty in breathing. It will be a running nose. All the time he will need tissue to clean his nose. He will sneeze a lot. He will find itching of his nose, itching of his throat. So allergic rhinitis at night also affect his sleep. Because if you imagine that your nose is blocked, your nose is running, so you cannot find a good sleep. So it will affect his sleep also. Simple allergic rhinitis patient will not feel fever. He will not suffer from fever. But if it is cold, it will start with fever, nasal congestion, running nose. So this is one of the simple things. He will find, if it is rhinitis, common cold, body ache. And allergic rhinitis, you will not find body ache, and except if it will be complicated.
Dr. Rahman then explained why it is important to detect and treat allergic rhinitis.
If a person does not treat allergic rhinitis, he will find that a risk will happen, complications like asthma, like sinusitis. As I said, all these sinuses, which is in the head, drain inside the nose. If allergic rhinitis is there, there will be a nasal blockage. There will be a blockage of drainage of the sinuses. So the fluid will remain inside the sinuses. It will be affected. Infection will happen, so it will affect his daily life, and it will cause for him sinusitis more severe. The cost of treatment will be more on him. He should use anti-allergic. There's a lot of antihistamines which released by the body. If you take these tablets, it will stop the release of histamine. So it will make less nasal congestion, less fluid from the nose, secretion. And if you use the nasal spray, which is available on the market, UAE market, it will stop the reaction, which is antigen-antibody reaction. So if the allergen came to the nose and it will heal, if you use the nasal sprays, it will affect by blocking the reaction which happened.
MSD's Managing Director, Mazan Al-Tarouti, explained why the company highlighted the issue of sandstorms.
Yeah, so at MSD we try as much as possible to help the community dividing something beyond the pill itself. So yes, we are a research-driven company that bring innovations in terms of treatment, but we also here at UAE try as much as possible to partner with the healthcare societies, with the healthcare community, and with the people like you from media to raise the awareness about the diseases, how we can prevent them, how we can treat them, because we believe that this can have a major impact on the healthcare system here and the health of the society generally.
Al-Tarouti also gave out helpful suggestions on how people can be more cautious during sandstorms.
It's well known that allergic rhinitis have a very direct link to the allergens that comes with the sandstorm, whether it's viruses, bacteria, pollens, spores, etc. So the best advice is to stay at home as much as possible, not to be exposed to the sandstorm. It's also advised that you use, for example, wet towels in the entrance or front entrance of the houses or over the windows. If you have to leave home, try as much as possible not to get into direct contact with the sandstorm. Cover the area of the face, the nose, or stay in the car. If you get symptoms, for example, like coughing, chest pain, sound with the breath, then it's very advised to visit a chest specialist. But if you get symptoms that more allergic in nature, like redness in the eye, sneezing, watery nose, etc., and congestion, then it's very advised that you visit an ENT physician.
A memorandum of understanding was signed between Index Medical Centre and the Dubai Health Authority that will enable both Emirati and expatriate patients to seek financial assistance through the DHA's Masada program. Under the terms of this new agreement, Index Medical Centre will provide medical assistance to patients with financial constraints. Masada is one of the key initiatives of the DHA, which reaches out to both local and expat residents who require medical treatment but cannot afford it. According to Salim bin Lahij, head of Masada, the DHA was able to reach out to 317 patients under this program, with a total contribution of almost $500,000 dirhams on medical treatment and equipment. Index Medical Centre, which is located in Dubai Healthcare City, provides a broad spectrum of treatment options across fields such as cardiology, general surgery, paediatrics, oncology and gynecology, among others. Researchers from the University of Tokyo in Japan suggest that men going bald may be more likely to have heart problems than men with a full head of hair. The study, which was published in the online journal BMJ, included nearly 37,000 people. The study found that balding men were 32% more likely to have coronary heart disease. Men suffer from baldness with having thinning hair by their 50s and 80% having some hair loss by the age of 70. The researchers sifted through years of research into links between hair loss and heart problems. They found that hair went thin on the crown was associated with coronary heart disease. This was after adjusting for other risk factors, such as age and family history. However, a receding hairline did not seem to affect the risk. According to Dorianne Maddock from the British Heart Foundation, men should focus on their waistline, not their hairline. A recent study continues to show that there is no association between autism and receiving multiple vaccines. Infants now receive several shots at a time, but the study says that it does not increase their risk of developing autism. About 1/3 of parents are concerned about unproven claims that vaccines can cause autism. And although research has not found a causal relationship between vaccines and the developmental disorder, 1 in 10 parents still delay or refuse to vaccinate their children, according to the Centre for Disease Control's childhood immunisation schedule. The researchers reviewed data involving 256 kids with autism spectrum disorders, or ASD, and 752 without ASD. They could not find any link between autism-related diagnoses and an increased exposure to antigens if the children received more immunisations. They concluded that neither the number of vaccines a child gets before age 2, nor the number of vaccines a child gets in a single day were associated with developing autism. And coming up after the break, scientists find new scientific evidence that eating fish is heart healthy. Cutting salt intake in half can save 2.5 million lives a year. Walking reduces heart risks as much as running. Cyborg's manager calls for a super fight against Ronda Rousey. And Amanda Bynes tweets that she has an eating disorder.